That was great. And it's true. I'm too busy having fun. Don't bother me with that. Edwin Gaines, one of my favorite teachers, taught me so much about prosperity. And many of you have heard her stories and things. And one of my favorites is when she was in ministerial school, but she was also kind of training at a church near the school at Uni Village. And I don't know if any of you can identify with this. How many people here know exactly how to make the world a better place? And Edwin would walk into that church, and she knew just what was wrong with it. She knew more about what was wrong with it than what was right with it. And she went to the minister one Sunday morning and said, John, this place is a mess. The bathrooms are filthy. The choir director is ridiculous, and some of those singers, my goodness, they could peel the paint off the walls. And the entryway, nobody's greeting right, and everything. And the minister, as she says, the minister loved her so much that his response was, Edwin, I think the highest order of the day for you is, don't bitch. And it's true. Oh my goodness. I could be so much happier if I knew less about what was wrong with my life or yours or the floor or the sky. I would be so much more at peace if I knew less of what was wrong with you guys, with me, with my body. And that's what can give me a great day is knowing less about what's wrong and knowing more about what's right. In the fall, we're going to do a group inventory. We haven't done it in years. And I believe it's in September we're going to set it. Originally it was August, but I think we're going to hold it off till September. And we've done it before. And in a group inventory, what it is everybody gets a chance to talk for 2 minutes or less about what works for them here at Unity. When I worked in a shoe store, we never took inventory of what shoes were not on the shelf. We took an inventory of what was there, of the good that we had available to us. And that's what we're going to do here. We've done it, it's been a lot of years since we've done it. And the board and I have talked about it. We want to do it again, so look for that in September. We'll be talking about that. So today's talk is called The Goal Should Be. The goal should be, and I put an Eric Butterworth quote in your bulletin that says, the goal should not be to make money or acquire things, but to achieve the consciousness through which the substance will flow forth when and as you need it. When and as you need it. See, praying for things doesn't get you things. Consciousness of things gets you things. When I've healed, it's not been because I was praying for healing. It's because I was focusing on my oneness. I learned early on, I have praying hard for things that can get me things. I have yet to win the lottery, even though I prayed to. Years ago, I did what I thought they told me to do. I was very specific. Everything. It was a $95 million lottery. And I was very surprised the next day when I did not win. I was very, very surprised. I thought I did everything right. But then I've witnessed when I have acquired things, when I have manifested, and I thought I wasn't even trying to manifest. And some things I did, and I didn't, I went out of my way to manifest him in my life. But I also heard a voice that said, you're coming home with David Friedman this week. I did. It was for a Unity retreat in 2002. It was a Unity retreat. The church in the city was having a retreat. And I heard the music director say that he had asked David Friedman to do the music at the retreat. And I thought, I'm coming home with David Friedman. What I did not know is the work that we would have to do to stay together. 13 years in this July. But thank you. But I had no idea of the work involved. I thought it was, don't bother me, I'm having fun. Well, I was wrong. It's work. I don't know that every relationship is work, but ours is. I'm not saying it's without joy, but ours is work. We're not easy people. And we have very different viewpoints on how to look at things. But I knew, and I put my work in, my focus, as David said. David said one day, Shawn's not ambitious, but he is relentless. He's right. It's like in his show Scandalous. He said, "What's the lyric that most applies to you?" And we looked at it, and David said, "It's I will not be controlled." In Matthew 6, in the traditional Bible, Jesus gives us the instructions. Do not lay up for yourself treasures on earth, for thieves will break in and steal them. Moths will eat them. Rust will break it apart. So I looked it up here for this, Matthew 6, verse 16 and 18. And we are told by Holy Spirit, and so remember your purpose in all things. Purpose is the same as your goal, your true goal. Remember your purpose in all things and follow the guidance that comes from within. It leads you, not so your brother will see how holy you are. It leads you that you may discover the holiness within, that you may bow down at the altar there and let the heart be your loving master, whom you do not question. Let your purpose guide you in all things, and let it be the true purpose of the heart. For the purposes of the world are like smoke screens that deceive you, promising rewards and happiness, but delivering not. For every purpose of the world brings forth yet another purpose to seek, and so you shall spend your life seeking and finding not. Empty you shall die. But the purpose of the heart fills up your treasure chest quickly, with joy, peace, and hope. And you shall follow the twinkle within your own eye. And since it is with you always, you shall always be satisfied beyond measure. You hear the promises in that? For it is the light within the heart that shines to show you your joy. And since it shines from within, you shall see your joy wherever you look. But if you do not trust your heart, and you try to find your own way to happiness, you shall be lost. For who can find their way without the light? Who can be happy stumbling, lost and aimless in the dark? No one can stand in both the light and the darkness, for either he will stand in the darkness and cannot see, or he will stand in the light and see clearly. But I say to you, he who stands in the dark may not know he is lost, because he cannot see. So do not decide for yourself where to stand. For you may think you stand on the path of righteousness when your feet are surely lost. Ask for the light, and let it lead you without questioning where it takes you. Remember that until you see all the world within the light, you may be lost, letting the darkness lead the way. Do not worry. Do not worry about which way you should go or what you should do next. Instead, ask now for the surety of the light, to light the way for your next step. Listen in quiet to the guidance of the heart as it tells you where to place your step. Be concerned only with letting your steps be led. For by following the guidance of the light, you will surely be walking the way of life. For the light and life are one. But if you let your mind be distracted by other concerns and you begin to worry about troubles within the world, you will forget to step carefully with the light, and you will run frantically into the dark. Then you shall look around and realize once more you are lost, for you cannot find the path of life without the guidance of the light. For the light and life are one. The light and the life are one. That's saying the same thing I keep saying. You will not figure it out. You will not figure out health. You will not figure out wealth. You will not figure out harmony. You will not figure it out. And as long as you are trying to, you will not see it. You will not see the very thing which you believe exists for you I know each and every one of us here believes that wealth is a reality, that health is a reality, and that peace and joy are a reality. How do I know? We keep trying to get them. We keep trying to figure out how to get them. We wouldn't try if we didn't believe they were possible. Where we have gone awry, many of us, is in thinking we were the ones who had to provide them. That I have to do this. That I have to do it. That I have to make someone happy. That I have to give someone health. That I have to give someone peace. That I have to create joy. That I have to create it. No, I must accept it. I must accept it by asking for the light. And what I tell you is when you ask, then ask yourself, do I want it? Do I really want light? Even at the cost of my false beliefs? Do I want wealth at the cost of my poverty beliefs? Do I want harmony at the expense of my unforgiveness? Do I want my good at the expense of my belief in bad? Would I give up, would I sacrifice my belief in dis-ease to live in joy and peace, in the assurance of good? So let our goals be not for the things we think are missing. Let our goals be for the assurance of the good that is present. Let our goals be for the assurance of what we know has to be present and available. Let our goals be for the assurance